When it comes to Thanksgiving, the turkey may take center stage, but it's the supporting side dishes that really make the show. One of the most iconic is cranberries. So how did this fruit end up becoming such a Thanksgiving staple? We caught up with Najee Van Wyken, a third-generation cranberry farmer in Warrens, Wisconsin.
They were growing wild here in the very beginning.
Cranberries are one of only a handful of fruits that are native to the U.S. Indigenous tribes were already gathering them when pilgrims first showed up. According to the Smithsonian, tribes used it as an ingredient for making pemmican, a type of survival bar packed with nutrients that help them endure harsh winters, and one fur traders quickly put to use. Van Wyken says legend has it the name cranberry actually comes from a bird that often snacked on it in the wild bogs or marshes it grew in.
When the cranberries are in blossom, in late June, early July, in the early years when the Native Americans were kind of roaming the area where the wild cranberries were growing, so were the sandhill cranes, feasting in those same areas. And they said that the head and neck of the sandhill crane resembled the cranberry blossom, and they named them cranberries. And then we have the mystery of the lost E, and it was shortened to cranberry.
It wasn't until the early 1800s in Maine that farmers found success in cultivating the cranberry for the first time. Then in the 1900s, a lawyer by the name of Marcus Aluran bought a cranberry bog and came up with the idea of canning the fruit to extend its shelf life. The harvesting window for cranberries is only about 2 months long, ranging from mid-September to mid-November. Optimal timing for Thanksgiving. This move proved a success and ultimately led Uran to collaborate with cranberry growers John Makepeace and Elizabeth Lee to create the Ocean Spray Cooperative. By the 1940s, the canned jellied cranberry sauce we all know today became nationally available.
It started out in the Pilgrims. They hand-picked them. It was right on their Thanksgiving table. And fortunately, that tradition has carried on through.
Today, Wisconsin is actually the leading producer of cranberries in the U.S. Well ahead of states like Massachusetts and New Jersey that tend to be more famous for the fruit. According to the U.S. Cranberry Marketing Committee, U.S. growers are projected to produce more than 8.3 million barrels this year.
We measure our yield in barrels, which is the old standard weight, and 100 pounds equals a barrel. Wisconsin alone is estimated to produce 5.2 million barrels of cranberries this year, which will be expected to be a good crop.
Out here standing right now, we're kind of surrounded by, I would imagine, about 75,000 pounds of cranberries. It's probably about a semi and a half when we get it all fully loaded and out of here.
So one of the coolest facts about cranberries is actually how they rise to the surface in the water. So if you take a bite out of one, you actually will see 4 air pockets on the inside.
After being collected from the flooded marshes, the cranberries are sorted, with some bound for the market just as they are. However, the majority are turned into other products, like juice, relish, and in some cases, even wine.
There's not a lot of cranberries growing all over the nation, and therefore you get to this cranberry region, and people just really like the cranberry wine because it's so unique and different.
Cranberries, in their natural state, have one of the lowest levels of sugar of all fruits, about 4 grams per cup. But the jellied stuff in the can, about 21 grams per half-inch slice. Regardless of how you choose to enjoy them, Van Wyken said she hopes you at least give them a try, especially at Thanksgiving.
And we are very fortunate that cranberries are very healthy to the consumer, and consumers are being very health conscious nowadays. If you aren't using them year-round, at least have cranberries on your Thanksgiving table.
So Lauren, if you pile your plate high with cranberries this Thanksgiving, odds are they came from a marsh right here in Wisconsin.